What is going on, everybody? Brickbuilder here, and welcome back to a brand new iCraft SMP episode. In today's episode, we're going to be working on making a very cool and epic build inside Spawn today, which is we're going to be working on a mini game in Spawn, the first mini game in Spawn Town, and it's going to be built right over here in the mountain. The game we're going to be making is Never Have I Ever. Essentially, how the game works is there's multiple players who play, and if there's parkour jumps, so there's like one here, one here, one here, and the goal is to, get the player, be the last player to get to the end. So like if there's multiple teams like this, and if I'm over here and let's say there's somebody over here and I say, let's pretend that this is a torch, and I say, never have I ever lit up and prevented mob spawns. The torch then has to move here. I don't. Then the torch says something and they're like, you have a YouTube channel, so then I have to move, type thing. And then the last person to get to the end wins. It's just a cool game because essentially people generally go for weird story time type events. But I'm going to finish digging out the area because as you can see it's a pretty large chunk of what we're going to go for here. But we're going to build it right into this mountain. Alrighty, so I dug out the broom. I made some concrete. We're going to go with red and light blue concrete here to give a basic design to the outside of this thing and really make it pop in the mountain edge here because we want this thing to be, it had to be in a mountain. Like that was a crucial part of this because building this not in a mountain would make this be really impossible and really wouldn't look nearly as good. So I had to build it in the edge of a mountain, and now we need to tear this back one more, and then we're gonna throw a little circus-y, that's not what the word I would use, but I don't have the proper wording, you know what I mean. We're gonna try to make this look like an actual mini game. So we're gonna go like this, right over here, boom, and then we're gonna go blue, red, like that, over and over again until we get to there, I think, right? Yes. And then this should hopefully look pretty good. And then we go like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and boom, baby. And then back here we're gonna do the opposite colors. Like so, we're gonna go red and that. And then we can also cover the top of this right here so you don't see this, because yeah, you probably don't want to look at that from a distance. You know, there's people's bases around here, so we gotta kind of conceal, don't feel this base at the same time, this design at the same time. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it out a second block, so that way we really can get the actual, like, well, that's not the right thing. So we can get the right, I don't know, like, proper wording would be like 3D look. That's what I'm going for. And okay, getting those blocks to be placed is a little bit annoying, but doable. Boom, 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 boom. And there we go. We go all the way down there and looking fairly nice. And then we're gonna do some other design stuff here. So the next thing we're going to do is get the actual staircase down, which, oh my god, we can't make those. We have to make these into bricks first. But you see here we have the staircase. So we're going to actually make a staircase here. And that's going to be pretty interesting because we're going to use a staircase to get down. It's a pretty bit of a big staircase, but I like the idea of having the staircase be bigger than smaller because a lot of times you see the smaller staircases. So we're going to have big steps and hours just to, make a little bit of a difference. There's not a huge difference with the way this is actually going to turn out, as you see, because once you add the next stair, it's really only like a one gap. But it's still there, and it's big enough that I think you'll notice it a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and do it either way. And then we go like so, and like so. So I'm going to do a little bit more touch-up work just out here for the aesthetic, like removing all this stupid cobble and then removing this dirt and stuff, and then I'll be back in just a little bit. So I'm going to grab some iron, hopefully, because I'd like to incorporate a few iron blocks into the design, but I can't exactly do that unless the iron farm over here has a lot of iron. So okay, that's enough to get the job done. How many blocks is this going to be of iron? That'll be 64. Okay, that's a whole stack of them, which should be enough to do some stuff with, which is good enough. I'll have to deal with that. That's enough. Plus, I think I have like 50 in my own shulker box of iron that I can potentially use if need be. I do need to quickly go grab some sea lanterns. I'm hoping I have some in my base because, if I don't, I'm going to have to go buy some from the shopping district. And that's far away. So it'll be a little journey to get over there. But We don't. So I think we have, you know, we're gonna have to grab some other stuff. Let's see. Maybe we can use glowstone, maybe? Do we have, what do we have as far as, also bone blocks? I want to grab you quickly. We got glowstone, but I want to go grab the, what are they called? The, oh my goodness. Sea lanterns. So let's make a little bit more of the bone block. Boom. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna head on over to the port city once we grab our rockets from over here, because then we can have enough sea lanterns to do what we need to do, since they will be at the port city beautifully. Exactly what I'm looking for, because I need sea lanterns to light the actual Never Have I Ever minigame up, which will be quite cool. Now we're probably not going to finish this in today's episode. We're going to do probably a good portion of it though, so you know, that should definitely be a thing. And now we're going to go like this and fly on over. Thankfully it's not too far away, it's only a few rockets away, so it's really not that bad as far as distance goes. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my sea lanterns from inside of this house here. And boom, look at me with my sexy landing. Beautiful. And let's go up here and grab sea lanterns. Please tell me we have a bunch of sea lanterns. Okay, we have sea lanterns here inside that. Alright, nice. I knew we were supposed to have a lot of lighting, and now we do. So that's good. Okay. Now, let's head on back over to our place, and we're going to keep getting to work now. But we have a lot more white blocks, which is good, because I wanted to incorporate white pretty heavily into the actual design, just because I feel like it's a good color to use. And these are some pretty nice blocks. So, we're going to go ahead and make use of them a ton. But first, we're going to have to figure out lighting in here, because the lighting is pretty bad. So basically the way this is going to work is we need to set up down here a row of this. So we're going to use that. And we might throw iron blocks in that mix as well. I'm not 100% sure, we'll see. But we need to get down the bone blocks first inside a pattern like this. Hopefully we have enough. I mean, if we don't, we can always grind out more skeletons at the mob farm, or we probably have enough more bones back at the base to make a ton more. So that is a good thing. But we're going to need to get lighting in here, and then we're going to have to get to work on the actual game. There's going to be, you know, today is going to be the aesthetic episode, and then in the future we'll have the actual finishing of the aesthetic, because there's two aesthetics to this. Like on one hand, we're doing like the bare bones basic stuff today to get that all worked out good, since that's definitely an important, you know, priority to have. But we also, on another hand, need to maintain a, you know, playable status. Okay, so we got it like that so far, which is looking good. Now we're gonna get sea lanterns, and I think I have an idea for how we're gonna use these in here and make them look, you know, good and stuff. Give me some of you. I'm gonna need a lot more of these stone bricks. We're gonna be using a ton of stone bricks today. Give me you and give me you. So we're gonna go like so, and then behind here we'll throw a row of sea lanterns. I think that could look pretty good and should work for lighting. Yes. And then over here we can do the same. Throw a row of this and throw lighting here, and then we can keep a similar style just going throughout the roof, which I think will work pretty nicely. So we go like that, and then we can go like this, boom, and then we'll throw it over here as well, and then that will be enough of those for now, because over here is going to be the starting point. So we got to define this as the starting point, which I think the best way to do that is just to do the red and blue that we did out here over down in here as well. So red, blue, red, blue, red. Then we do the same thing over here, red, blue. That's wrong. I keep misplacing now. And then these we could remove. I think I'm gonna keep them up there though. But yeah, and then also we gotta do the same thing to the floor over here. So you're gonna all start here, and then blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. All right. Hi there, skeleton. You need to get away so I can actually do my building, you dang little thing. Alright, dang nabbit you. And now we need to get the blocks for which you're actually going to jump on, which are going to be the iron blocks, I'm believing, I think, is a good option. So, There's going to be one player here, one player here, one player here, and one player there. I know it's not even, so it might bug a little bit of people, but I wanted to have 4 players, and this is the best way to go about doing that. So we're going to do it like this. But the actual game to build as far as mechanics wise is pretty basic, but there are a bit of, you know, more complicated aspects to think about when building this, which are more or less just looks and making the game as easy and simple to play as possible, because nobody wants to play this if it's complicated. You know what I mean? This is supposed to be a fun collaborative game you play for an episode of iCraft or something of the sort. We're gonna go like that, and then we're gonna turn these into the design that we have over here with the sea lanterns and all that stuff. So this is gonna become sea lanterns, and we can always buy more of these from Bloxworth. They're like a diamond per stack, which is not bad at all as far as price goes. So I mean, I'm not gonna really complain. And then over here, we're gonna pull this stuff down, and we're gonna get started up here. The first 2 rows are gonna be something we're gonna touch right off the bat right now, just to get the actual feel in for what I want to do. So this is where we're gonna have to do some experimenting. Do we like a bone block row and an iron block row? Like, what about that? I like that. I think that could work. The iron blocks, you know, we're building like we're Waffles up in here. Because Waffles from nowhere literally has like everything. he's built with stuff like that on his base over there. So we're kind of stealing his white design, but kind of mixing in some other additional things. So what's the difference here? This one here goes out, and this one here is covered. Okay, this needs to be pushed back, I believe is the answer to all of our problems. Yeah, this does need to be pushed back. Okay, zombie, back up. But yeah, this here needs to be pushed back into the wall as opposed to being out in like front and center type dealio. So we're gonna do this now. Not blue. Oh my goodness. Okay. Place blocks properly. Concrete blocks need to be placed like so. Beautiful. And then we go red, and there we go with that. And nice indeed. I believe that is a simple fix, and yeah, it will work. Although there's actually 2 red blocks that aren't supposed to be there. I don't know who placed these, if it was me or what. Oh, yeah, it was definitely me. And boom, boom. And then give me dirt, and we'll go like that. And then we'll throw red and red. And then over here, this is going to be a red block as well. And then we can take these iron blocks down to the ground, baby. And turn these into those. Beautiful. Next, we're going to keep the same altering pattern here. But I think since we don't have a lot of iron blocks, we're going to change the actual little design. And what we're changing is we're making going to be 2 rows of that, then a row of iron blocks. Just because iron blocks are like, you know, obviously a higher commodity than bone blocks are. So to really assure that we're going to have enough of them to do what we want, you know, as far as building materials go, we are going to stick to more bone blocks just because it makes a lot more sense from an economic standpoint. So we're going to do the same thing over here. Push these in the 2 rows on the walls, and I think it's going to look pretty fancy if you ask me. So we go like that, and then we're going to go up here like so. Beautiful, get you filled in there, and then we do the same thing right there. And we're gonna get a row of the iron, which I like that this one here matches up with that. I know this one doesn't, but it's not a huge deal technically, it's whatever. So yeah, and then we're gonna get 1 more row of the bone blocks, and then we get a row of iron on each side, and that should look pretty good. But yeah, I feel like the fun thing about Never Have I Ever is it's easy to build, so it's a perfect first minigame. And it's just one of those games that you get to like bond and get to know somebody better with, or get to know multiple players with. So that's what makes that fun in that regard, you know what I mean? It's relatively simple to learn, but really fun, and just you have a lot of laughs and good times as you are going about. So, you know, definitely a cool experience to play with people, so hopefully some of the iCrafters will check it out and make some videos in it. I'm definitely interested in doing that myself. So, okay, we go like so, and as you can see, we got a good looking design so far. I like it, it works, it's pretty good. And now we're gonna get some more lighting involved. So we're gonna go, how big is this? 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, nice. We're gonna throw lighting here, not there. back one. Like this, going all the way down beautifully like that. And then we're going to do the same design over here. Not one, it's two over. Every 2 blocks, one of these is going to get placed. So we go like that. And then we have one here, right? Yes, okay, beautiful. Now, we do need a little bit of iron. Thankfully, we got all those iron blocks. So we can pop this and convert into that. Nice, now we're gonna have iron bars, which we are gonna throw in front of these, just so that way they don't have as much of a influence on, you know, the aesthetic, because the blue in those is kind of a different blue than what we're going for. So I'm not really sure how they're gonna turn out. The blue is in there, so we're gonna try to cover that as best we can. And I think doing something like this will be the best way of doing that. We're gonna have 2 levels of lighting just to, you know, make the walls seem like they have an actual pattern as opposed to just having lighting in the bottom. It's actually gonna look like that's part of the design instead of it just being there randomly. So we're gonna go like that, and then we go like a so over here. We go like a so over here. Beautiful. Although we also like touched up a lot of stuff over here we shouldn't have broken. But it's whatever, it happens. Oh my goodness, we did it again. Oops, I did it again. Britney Spears. Alright, there we go. And right up here as well. Beautiful, there we go. The lighting is now in the walls. Looking fairly fancy if you ask me. The lighting in here should be relatively good, as you can see. There's no spawnable locations, so it's working perfectly if you ask me. But here we go. We got some more stuff we got to work on. We're not done yet. So the next one is the roof needs to be peeled up one more, since we can actually are planning on, you know, of course, putting a different block as the roof in here. We're not going to leave this as the roof. And the one thing I don't know exactly is how many jump pads I actually want there to be before the game's over. Because the game can take forever, or it can be really quick. That's the thing. It really depends on what people say. You know what I mean? Like what the never have I evers are. So, you know, it's very dependent on that, which makes it difficult for me to say, okay, well, this game's going to take 5 minutes every time. So to make it 10 minutes, we're going to need to double the jumps. It doesn't really work like that. You know what I mean? There's no hard answer for how long this game's going to take. There's no timer, there's no countdown, etc. It's just like a self-moderated fun little mini game on the server. So yeah, with no redstone involved whatsoever, which is part of the reason I built this, because I am not a redstone mechanic by any stretch of the imagination. So we're gonna go like this. There we go. And then now we're gonna head back up to the top here, dump some stuff in here to make some space. And then we're gonna go a boom, and a boom, and go like a so. Like a so. We're gonna have a bunch of extra stairs probably at the end of this project, but I'm completely content with having extra stairs since they will definitely get put to a good use at some point. Since, I mean, who doesn't love a good stone brick stair? You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna get used. Dude, I don't even have to jump here. I'm not going to. But we're gonna go ahead and place these around here. I want to give the roof a little bit of a dynamic look to it, because if we don't put some shape into this build, it's really gonna be lacking. So we're gonna go like that, and then this is gonna be the harder part, is digging up here, only because you can only reach so far. But whatever, we're gonna dig this out, and then we're gonna place blocks up here. You know, oh my goodness. Okay, well, I had to place you back down, but we're gonna keep on going and moving or grooving around here. I think this is gonna work out pretty nicely as far as ceilings go. You know, we're just gonna go for something relatively basic, but I want to incorporate. We're gonna have to get some more of the red, get some more of the blue incorporated in here somehow. And I don't think the ceiling's gonna be how we do that, but it's just a thing we do need to do. Just thinking about it. Also, we don't even have to jump to do the ceiling, so I'm not going to. Again, I don't need to build up, I don't need the scaffold, so I'm not going to worry about it, which is quite good if you ask me. Now, go over here and break you, break you, break you, which also, I mean, should mean in theory we can also place them without having to jump, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and grab a little bit more of those, and these are gonna go around the edge here. Okay, we do need to jump. Whatever, I will jump, no problem, okay? Here we go. Jumping around like a bunny rabbit. Just gonna get a ring of these lights here, which if you put them in a large grid can look okay, but we're not gonna put a large grid. We're just gonna put the one ring around here as far as those go. We don't need to have like an overload of sea lanterns, which we might already be going overboard on sea lantern looks, but they look pretty good, which is why, you know, I'm doing that, I guess, and like without even thinking about it technically. And now I'm thinking about it. So what we're going to do is break this out here, one thing here. We're going to have like a little small pyramid-esque thing going on here, because like it starts big on the base. The base is technically not going to exist, but it would be here. And then it gets smaller as you work your way up. But here's going to be the level where we mix bone blocks into the ceiling, because we got to get that off-white color, which will look relatively white in comparison to most things besides the iron blocks. So, you know, they work for what we're going for. Like, this doesn't have to be quartz, it doesn't have to be white concrete for it to look good, just because of the fact the off-white is really the noticeable, you know, isn't going to be noticeable. It's not as noticeable as you would think. So that's why we're going to be able to use bone blocks so successfully in this. And we go a little something like that, and it looks pretty good. But that is all I have time for in today's episode. In the next episode, we will finish this thing up. If you guys enjoy, make sure that like button and subscribe, and I will see you in another episode of iCraft SMP. Thanks so much for watching.